So hi everyone, my name is Sergey. I'm the co-founder of One Inch Network. This is Anton,
Hi everyone, I'm Anton.
also co-founder of One Inch Network. And we are gonna start to tell you about our story. How did we start? Not everyone is aware like where we are coming from. So we are just two simple programmers, I would say, developers, software engineers, who just built something on a hackathon. Yeah. So the project One Inch was born on a hackathon, and that's me here at ETH New York 2019. It's like 4 years ago. And it's not me on the mattress, it's me here. And the second night, I didn't sleep 56 hours. Anton was remotely. Unfortunately, he couldn't come in person. So he was on the line right now. So you see I have my AirPods. And I had to find something to warm my body because it stopped to warm. After a specific period of time, you face some problems with your body if you don't sleep. So I already said like 56 hours was quite hard, but it was worth. So and we were cryptomaniacs. So our team name was Cryptomaniacs. This explains our logo as well. So we explained it a little bit. So Anton, you can also add.
During this 2019 year, we visited a lot of hackathons to make a lot of connections to crypto people, to founders of other projects, to hackers.
Yeah, so we had specific strategy. So we were traveling around the globe, meeting Vitalik as well. So he have seen us like at least like 18 times or something, but he still every time asks who I am. But it's okay, yeah. We created chats with everyone. It's also kind of a thing what helps, yeah. Just connect with everyone, try to collaborate with everyone. So for example, we have also chat with Uniswap. So you speak also with these guys. So we are all friends, and we are building really something huge, which will grow a lot in the next years. So our portfolio, it's actually more. We had more hackathons than here you can see. We were traveling around the globe, started on December 2018, started on Ethereum Singapore. It was my first hackathon. After like 16 years of software engineering experience in different startups, Anton asked me to join the hackathon, and I was not I couldn't decide to go or not to go, but I decided to go, and it was something that changed my life. So I understood on the hackathon that it's cool to build something, it's cool to compete with everyone there, and to meet a lot of people. So this picture here was actually from this hackathon, from the first hackathon with Vitalik, and I understood this is a huge thing. Yeah, it's gonna change the world. We have built a lot of things over the hackathons, and yeah, Anton, maybe you can.
Yeah, it makes sense to build things fast, to check ideas fast, and it makes sense to build new things on each hackathon to check it out if it would work or not. Some of our ideas which we built on these hackathons were like completely dropped after the hackathon. They had probably no sense to continue supporting them, but some of them were good, like One Inch, and some of them also were good in some specific application, and we re-implemented them later. For example, QR token invention in March of 2019, we re-implemented it 2 years later.
It's this one.
You can see it's real life airdrops, and this QR code, it contains all the necessary cryptographic proofs to claim from smart contract.
So yeah, we have built a lot of things, really crazy things. We were in Stuttgart, where I'm from, in the university. We have built over 2 nights a prototype for a smart carring, like smart sharing car. Yeah, so you were able to scan a QR code, to reserve the car, and to take it to drive if it's a specific kind of radius on the map. And of course, we didn't build everything, but we have built a nice kind of media center in like this media system in the car. So I just took some boxes from Red Bull drinks and just put some hardware on it, and it took 2 days to build. And they thought we are coming with a already working product, or almost working product. As a startup,
yeah. The best rule, I believe, is Pareto rule. You could achieve something wasting 20% of your power and achieving 80% of result. So the rest 20% would cost you 80% of power. So that's not for hackathon already.
Yes. So why 1 inch? So we are martial arts fans with Anton. I train my whole life. I have second belt, brown belt in karate, Shotokan, Muay Thai, and MMA, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu right now. And on the hackathon, we were like thinking of which name we should choose, which should be very special and simple. Yeah. So, and I suggest 1 inch because Bruce Lee had this 1 inch punch. Yeah, he just pushed people away. Like with huge power and highly efficient. Everything what Bruce Lee did was highly efficient. Yeah, and Anton said like, "This is cool. We will win the alphabetical sort, always."
Even from Aave.
Yes, that's true. But it's not true for the Wallet Connect yet. So we are still speaking with these people. We are on the second page somehow. But anyway, yeah, like we were inspired by martial arts and Bruce Lee, and also in the beginning, our kind of nice thing what we had was what I had, and I still have my co-founder who is very talented in memes. Yeah. And we had actually no budget. So I was living in the office to this time, like I had no shower, I had to go to the gym, and was sleeping on the airbed. And Anton was working like for a year, I guess, right, in this time. We had actually no budget. He has family with 2 kids. And we had no budget for like promoting this project. We were working in the nights. Day over, we had normal jobs. So I was working also for Porsche. And Anton came with the idea we should use maybe memes. It's nice. It's like to work with the community, to get the feedback also from the community, and also to organic competitors you can have.
Yeah, because your community will spread those memes if they are fun. To make fun meme, it should be true.
Yeah, and how you said to grill the competitors,
like fire them a little bit.
Yeah. To fire a little bit the competitors. You can see on the right side Dex aggregation, the Dex aggregators innovation department. It's still like this from my feelings. So we have seen recently a nice announcement from Uniswap. It feels like we are digging a hole, and people around they look on that, and also, of course, extend the ideas. It's also great. It's DeFi. So people build on top of your ideas, on top of your money Legos, Web3 Legos. Yeah, this is great, but it's also fun.
I would comment here that it was fair play. Uniswap in their white paper they mentioned 1 inch fusion as reference number 1.
Yeah, this is really nice to see, because in the beginning people used our code without mentioning us, and now they start to mention us.
Code ideas, yeah.
Yeah, but of course they didn't use our code, but they proved for us, like they showed us that we were walking in the right direction, because like more and more startups start to protect people from front-running attacks, maths, and
we have a slide about this.
Yeah. So yeah, and here you see 40 millions. We have every day now 250 millions volume a day, and we reach in a month 40 millions. We are really happy about that, and just because of the community. So we got really.
It was February of 2020.
Yes. Yeah, it's not really far away. So. 1 inch network today, over 4 years we have built a lot of different services, protocols. We have our DAO with the token. which you can stake, you can delegate, you can participate in governance, you can select the resolvers, which I use for the fusion mode. We have like spot price oracles based on smart contracts, fully open source under MIT license. Everyone is free to use, to extend, to build on top of it. Liquidity protocol, which is now this kind of deprecated. Limit order protocol, kind of our decentralized order book protocol. We have Fusion, we have Rabbit Hole, with what is like similar to Math Blocker or this cat thing from some guys. So we have now this also, hardware wallet, this one. So we are walking around. If someone want to see this, we can show. We have our wallet for Android and iOS. With a lot of people already downloading and using it because it's super user-friendly and explains also what you're signing. So you don't sign just a hex or something string. You are signing. We explain that you make a swap, and which token you sell, which token you buy, and for which rate. We have also our 1inch Pro and some other small projects, but we still concentrate on what we can do very well, and this is we are building the best trading venue in the world in self-custody manner. 1inch network today, aggregation market share 65%. Of course, there are other players, EuroX, Swap, and some other people who are building in this space. We have limit order protocol, which just overtook 0x just like in 1 year, I guess. Anton came just to the idea that maybe it makes sense to write really, kind of small piece of code, because you know Morpheus law. So if something can go wrong, it will go wrong. And I like this on Anton, that he thinks like, why we do this that complicated? Maybe we should reduce it to.
Yeah, we reduce complexity dramatically, and we also reduce gas costs for sure.
Yeah, and we make sure that everyone can build on top of our protocols. We publish it under MIT license, so you can also build own business with own license, business license on that if you like. We don't care. We would love to see people using it. We have more than 350 billions of US dollars volume since start, and this is really crazy. We raised 190 millions of US dollars for 1inch Labs to build. We have still really we are already 4 years from the start, from the beginning, and we have still long period of time where we can operate with this money, without charging fees or something like that. Which we cannot really do it by ourselves. It can be only done by DAO, but I don't think so that someone will charge any fees right now. We have 4.5 million of unique wallets using 1inch from the beginning, and a lot of core contributors around the globe building.
I would say all these achievements would have not been possible without commitment of all these contributors, all these great guys behind all those inventions and all those progress and achievements.
Yeah, this is very important. This is a teamwork. It's not just I and Anton and maybe Michael, who is also sitting here, who was from the beginning with us as an advisor. It's everyone who is working, also in the night. So we have a nice announcement today as well, and this product was built really in a short time, and people were working tonight to finish it. And it's really nice to see people who are that committed to their own project. It's not my project, it's not Anton's project, it's our project. Also, you guys from the community, you own it because we are community driven, and we are coming from the community. So this is the picture right now out there. So we have the dark forest on the left side. This is the current DeFi from our point of view. There are some monsters, MEF bots,
MEV monsters.
And some other attackers, hackers, who scammers as well. Ponzi schemes, which we were fighting back in 2018 on YouTube with live streams and security audits. So this is the thorny path, we call it. And if you swap on any DEX aggregator or DEX directly who are not protecting you from MEF, yeah, then you face the MEF, yeah. So I can give you example. Last year I had to sell some Ethereum to buy it again to like declare loss in my tax declaration in Germany. We have nice terms there from our point of view. So I sold some Ethereum. I was front run, and like I got a sandwich attack, and I bought it again, and then I recognized I was sandwich again. So, and I went to Anton and the other guys and asked, like, guys, we need to find a solution.
You sold second time to make sure.
Yeah, I tested it properly, yeah. So, yeah, and you see on the right side kind of success, this nice unicorn land country, where we try to improve the space, to improve the user experience, to build kind of software protocols which protect the community who are using us.
We believe DeFi could look like that, not like that.
Yeah, one day maybe. So I would like to speak about Fusion. This is our current product, which we still improve. We released it in December 2022, last year. It took 1 month to deliver it. We had some preparation time, of course. I understood it makes no sense to work like remotely. All people were working fully remotely, and I thought maybe it makes sense to put all people in one room. So, and we did it. We had breakfast, lunch, and dinner. People could come with their own family. They had spa, gym, yeah, and couldn't work on the release of Fusion, and they delivered it. Of course, we came with all the audits, so we make sure that if something goes live, it has like at least 5, 8, 10 audits, sometimes 12. So last audit it was like 12, I guess.
Yeah, I would say in terms of safety of the smart contracts, it makes a lot of sense to have as less code as possible and have as much audits as possible. This ratio of code amount to audits amount divided by code amount, we try to maximize this, because this is probably the only way to have kind of safety, because no one audit would guarantee anything to you. The more audits you have, the more kind of trust you have in those safety of those protocols.
Yeah. So
even formal verification, it sounds like it could provide some guarantees, but actually not. We have examples of protocols which had formal verification, but they did not take into account some aspects, and they were hacked.
Yeah. So if I see a protocol with just one security audit, I don't touch it at all. So also the best auditor, like OpenZeppelin, Consensus, they can make mistakes. They can maybe oversee something, because people are doing that. Yeah. So, and people sometimes make mistakes. And
especially if projects have like thousands lines of code. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if your project is like 5K lines of code and you have one audit, you are not safe at all. If your project is 500 lines of code and 10 audits, you're like 100 times more safe.
All right, Fusion. So Fusion is designed for efficiency and also for better user experience, and also to protect the people who are using swaps at 1 inch. MEF protection comes by design, so there's just different approach. You don't do the transaction, you just sign a permit. Someone is executing the transaction for you, or like fill you limit order. Under the hood it's a limit order, but based on a specific Dutch auction, which is quite unique on the market. Gasless swap execution is also one thing what improves the user experience. You don't have to own any native token like on Ethereum, yeah, on Polygon.
You have next slide about this.
Yeah. And yeah, and you get the best rates, since we introduce kind of competition between market makers who can execute. So you see here we have our verified resolvers. we are taking care about compliance. So we are using different compliance provider who are which we are using to verify that the user is not a hacker, with malicious, I don't know, funds stolen from somewhere. And we ensure that resolvers, the market makers who are whitelisted in our network, that they have clean money. So we had the case that one of the resolvers was blocked because they got some funds from somewhere, and so we had to remove this resolver. Of course, it's kind of censorship, but in my point of view, we have enough resolvers to provide enough decentralization, to not have a single point of failure and censorship. But we should align with the compliance rules here or there. So you can see our resolvers, they breach the liquidity from centralized liquidity sources, from other networks and DEXs as well. They trade with own liquidity, but do also arbitrage on the chain. So they can arbitrage your Fusion order with Uniswap as well, if it makes sense. So you wanted to say here to the all liquidity as well?
Yeah, the thing is that people usually think that 1inch aggregates DEX's liquidity, pools liquidity, but no, that's not all. All these PMMs and resolvers, they also pre-arbitrage user trades with other networks, with centralized exchanges and any liquidity they could find anywhere. And this means that this allows users to still have atomic behavior. They have one transaction and it could be confirmed or reverted, but they have access to liquidity of EthCC6, of other chains. If you trade on Ethereum, it could be that liquidity is bridged to your trade from Optimism, Arbitrum, Polygon, Binance, Kraken, even FTX.
So we ensure as well through our approach, our protocol, that you are safe. So if you go to new DEX, you do trade, what happened also like last month, you give a proof, for the token. So the smart contract can transfer all the tokens from your wallet. And so what's happened actually, I guess it was also one of the PMM aggregation protocols. And it can happen. We try to mitigate this problem with a lot of audits, reviews from all the other top developers. So in our case, you just use one protocol and you are sure that it's safe. And under the hood, we can use a lot of liquidity sources. We can aggregate among decentralized exchanges. We can use PMMs. We don't care how security on their side it is. So we just care about the liquidity and protect on a high level with our protocol the users.
Yeah, DeFi is usually about composability of different protocols, and this is a great example of it. And that's probably one of the few examples which do not increase risks, because when some protocols work on top of each other, they sometimes compound their risks to each other, and you have higher risks. Using protocol which uses 2 or 3 protocols under the hood could make your risks like added to each other. You have higher risks. But in this case, you have you use only one protocol, 1inch, and risks of underlying protocols are not exposed to user. User is not exposed to other protocols' risks, and that's what allows 1inch to aggregate new sources, new pools from day one without requiring any audits from them, because users are not exposed to these new risks. And
okay, let's go about the fees. So people, not everyone understand how it can work, like kind of gasless, feeless, but there's a kind of fee, transaction fee, which needs to be paid by someone. So we know money is not coming from nowhere, and no one is doing free job, at the end. And someone needs to pay the gas costs. Gas costs can be paid if the trade is really profitable for the arbitrage traders. That's happening when you trade a huge amount of money and you get partial fills. So you at the end you don't pay any transaction costs in any case. But sometimes if you trade maybe small amounts, $200, $500, $1,000, you get a little bit less in the destination token because the rate is profitable for the resolvers, and you actually pay the transaction costs in your destination token. Yeah, so you don't need to pay it native token; you pay it in destination token. You get a little bit less potentially. Depends on the market condition. If the price stays in the same in the time you trade. If it goes up, you don't pay. You get what you have seen, not less.
Yeah, we have a cool feature actually. You can trade assets, some of assets which have permit, without any native token. Like on Ethereum, you could make limit orders or fusion trades without having any Ether on your balance at all. So you could have wallet with only USDC, and you can still trade those USDC to any other assets.
So, good example, you can claim this token, you don't have to pay any gas fees, and then you can just sell it through Fusion by just giving the permit and the signature for the order.
Yeah, it's two signatures, one signature for permit and one signature for order.
So Dutch auction, we started with the linear Dutch auction similar to Uniswap X, that was recently announced. We did some learnings because we had a good period of time to test, to battle test, also with higher amounts. And we came to something which our people called Kunzinyar grid, based on my surname, because I was sitting with one of my friends and he was pitching like 1 hour something what I didn't understood. But somehow at the end of this 1 hour, I came to the idea why we are not using the liquidity curve. That the price curve is based on the liquidity on the network. So to ensure that the user get the best execution. Since if you would use linear Dutch auction, it would go from here, from the current spot price, which you see, like on CoinMarketCap, for example, it would go here down directly, yeah? And the user would actually lose here a lot of money. Since this curve is built on the current liquidity and the current prices for the amounts, so we are able to build it like this, and you see these are partial fills. So the user, first of all, didn't pay for the gas cost at all. And the arbitrage traders started already to buy Ethereum here on better price for the user. And over time, this user sold for the better rate than the market rate. Market rate means you just go on any of the aggregators, except one each, and exchange 3,700 WTH to USDT, and you would get this price here, this one. The market rate for the swap. So we improved the rate, and the user got $2,345 more. Yeah. So how I said, math protection is by design based on the limit order protocol, which exists already a long time. Just with the like extension, you can call it hook or plugin or whatever, which allows the Dutch auction approach. I would like to speak a little bit about Pro, our institutional product. We are working on licenses. We got already a SRO license in Switzerland. We are working on United Arab Emirates with VARA on a new license to also operate there. Maybe we will introduce a halal version of 1inch as well. So we have some people working on it. This is really great market there from our point of view. And of course, we plan to cover through Switzerland, also Europe and other countries. We plan to start with institutionals, but we will open the doors also for retail as well. So of course, you need to pass KYC and AML. Yeah? So we ensure that we have only clean players with clean liquidity in this system, but we facilitate the DeFi technology, which is out there. We will also facilitate Uniswap pools in specific manner. Yeah? So we don't have to copy it and redeploy or something like that. We have we found a solution how to build on top of the current DeFi space fully compliant, institutional ready environment. So the first product would be the swap, yeah, in fully self-custody manner for any institutional by using also Fireblocks and some other custodian provider. So we plan also to sell to institutionals our APIs, which they can use to, on the backend side, just execute trades by not transferring tokens to any custody centralized exchange services. Yeah. Benefits: clean liquidity. You have access to actually whole market through our market makers who bridge the liquidity, similar to what we have in Fusion for the community version. Easy pluggable with the APIs, and custodial and self-custodial approach we support. So what's next? Our dev portal. How I said, we work also in the night today to make it happen. We released a service, we call it Web3 Cloud Software as a Service platform, where you get access to our APIs. Since 2019, we have built a lot of microservices, a lot of APIs, which are required to build Web3 applications. If your application which you're building or you already operate need the information which tokens are on the wallet which is connected, yeah, which balances are of the tokens, which NFTs are on the wallet, yeah, which which limit orders did you set, yeah, to trade, or how the portfolio looks like, yeah, you can get it from our dev portal.
One-inch team built one-inch services on top of those APIs, so you could build your own startup on it.
Yeah, and that's very easy. Yeah, we take care that we onboard also startups, also just simple software engineers like we were, and we are still the same software engineers like 4 years ago. We make sure that we onboard them as well by not charging fees. Yeah, you can get enterprise contract where you will be not charged at the beginning. After specific period of time, if you start to sell your product, we will of course speak about that. But at the beginning, everyone can use it for free. Yeah, there's a free plan with some limitations, and an enterprise plan which everyone can ask for and can get as well. So, and yeah, we would like to hand over. We have a nice topic, our Community Builders Program. So, Christy.
Thank you. Thank you, Sergey and Anton. It's all good. For those who arrived during the talk, thank you so much for coming out to, this is our 1-inch first community meetup in Paris. So it was lovely and a privilege to have both the co-founders in the same room speaking at the same time. So I am Christy. I'm heading up the community here at 1-inch. And it was really just, I think, a great time with Sergey and Anton and the rest of the 1-inch core contributors, having spent so much time building up the product and also getting 4.5 and growing users. We've onboarded me and have started the Community Builders Program. So this is actually the first event that has been funded and approved by the 1-inch DAO. So decentralized governance structure that actually has helped fund a lot of 1-inch products and a lot of programs. So the 1-inch Community Builders Program is, no worries, is really a decentralized kind of contribution model that we're kind of opening up to the community at this time. So as you heard before, you know, we are quite open in terms of how we want to collaborate with contributors. This is the DeFi space. At some point, you know, you hit the glass ceiling in CeFi. You want to know more. You want to explore. You want opportunities to understand on how you can collaborate, how you can learn. This program is a kind of the non-development side of community building. We have 4 tracks that are available. You can contribute in these types of ways. So scribes, who are people skilled in content writing and translation, long form blog posts and articles. We would like to invite you to write content from your perspective about 1inch from an educational standpoint. For those who have experience in community management, moderation, those who are in, from ICOs, from SCOs, those stages years ago, still with us today in the DeFi space, we're also welcoming you to come and be part of us and help us grow our online community. We also have a track called the Artisan Track. So if you are a videographer, if you're a designer, you have skills that you'd like to contribute to kind of grow 1inch with a creative idea. We also have rewards and incentives set up for people to submit their individual projects. And also, if you are the type of person who loves doing events like this, you like to form partnerships, you like to be a networker, we invite you also to take part in our activators track. And so a little bit about how the Community Builders program works is that you come kind of as you are, you select a task or a project that's interesting to you, and then you kind of carry out the assignment and the task. There will be resources provided, mentorship if needed, and you're basically rewarded for your contribution. It's really a touch and go. The program is designed to be flexible and for anybody who wants to kind of be involved in the ecosystem, whether you're, full-time student, whether you have a job working part-time or freelancing. Yeah, there's a lot of flexibility and opportunities for you to get involved. Some of the benefits. So, as I mentioned before, it's really a self-selecting task. There is no manager that's going to be chasing you down during the day and asking you if you have completed task A or B. You will get additional rewards if your contribution is impactful and makes kind of a big splash. If you're doing content, for example, or if you're doing community management, there are additional kind of benefits attached to that. Also, this is a great chance for people who are in Web 2 currently, have a skill set of a marketing background or customer service background or something similar and want to get into Web 3. We're able to help you with the training and the resources to get into the Web 3 space. Also, we're building a line of eye-catching swag. And if you've been to any 1inch event, you'll know that the swag and the design is something to be, coveted. And it's, really lovely. So leadership and mentorship opportunities are also available. So depending on what stage you are in your career, you can come, be part of the team, you can collaborate, and you can also be mentored or also be on the side of leadership. So I think this is just perfect time with the stage that 1inch as a company and as an organization for the community is at. We invite you, your friends, family, colleagues to all think about ways to contribute and be part of our program. So thank you so much. Okay. And so now, actually, if you don't know, we've got quite a few of contributors in the audience as well today. So this is really a lovely, intimate gathering. We're going to open up the space for anybody who has questions about 1inch. You can think about 1inch in any capacity and ask us anything. So if you have a question, just raise your hand. We'll get you a mic.
Thank you very much for a great presentation. Thank you, Anton. Thank you, Sergey. I have a quick question regarding the 1inch Fusion. I know that right now I saw the site, the QR code that you was posting on the presentation for the developer tools. It still says coming soon. But as I know, there is no test net for the 1-inch fusion. So is there any plans to do this, or how is gonna look like? Thank you.
One. It's not working. This one. Test. Yeah. We test in production normally. Theoretically, it's possible to deploy, right? So, like the smart contracts, you can theoretically deploy by yourself. You can ask for it for the core contributors who are working on that theoretically, but normally we are testing also on other networks like which are cheaper, like Polygon, Arbitrum, Optimism, Gnosis, yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, on some networks like Polygon on the BNB chain, you could try it out on amounts like $1, and it would work because transaction fees are like usually lower than a few cents, less than 1 cent. And with test nets, it's usually difficult because any tokens there have no actual prices, even to each other. All pools are imbalanced. So it's super hard to have something which is kind of working for DEXs, for aggregation on test nets. So you could just play with small amounts. If you would, I saw in Dune Analytics that there are number of swaps where sizes are less than 1 USDC, 1 DAI. That's actually someone is playing around with API, with Fusion, with everything else.
Yep. For us, it's also difficult to maintain also testnet microservices. You know, you need to index them, like all the blockchains which we support. There's huge work behind all the services which I presented here as API service which we sell and giving also for free. There's huge work to maintain it. That's why we test just on layer 2 and then test also in Ethereum. You have seen maybe the last test with 11,000 Ethereum. It was necessarily to try the custom mode which we introduced, where you can decide to sell it over hours or days, yeah, in a price range. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, can you hear me? Okay. I believe that spending like few bucks on tests is like not a big deal, because anyway, if you would deploy any smart contracts on mainnet, at the end you will pay hundreds to thousands of bucks for deployments. So mainnet development of on-chain something like smart contracts is not cheap at all. So spending few bucks on transactions, like on hundreds of transactions, you could spend like $1-2 on Polygon or BNB. So that's fair enough.
Hi. Just a question on your business side. How do you see the growth like over the next couple of years? Do you see it focused on the DeFi space or different regions, or how do you guys think about that?
I see that whole market growth and whole market activity is highly dependent on cycles in crypto. We saw this more than 3 times in DeFi. This will probably 3rd time starting. And we saw this more than 5-6 times in the whole crypto, even before Ethereum appeared. And we amazed to see that volumes and trading activity currently on the low market is almost the same as it was on the high market. The average volume per day is around 250 millions of US dollars a day, yeah. And we were curious to see it did not drop with the whole market. Whole market dropped, but these amounts, they're still there. That's very interesting. And I'm curious what would happen to the activity when like a real bull run will start and we will see price volatility increase in 5-10 times.
Yeah, we have the fear that it will cause exponential growth again, what we had at the beginning and our first years. So we were really inspired by this exponential volume growth which we had. And how Anton said, like 250 million a day is a lot. And of course we had like 4.5 billion a day on the USDC DPEC. It's also crazy to see, yeah, that people are using our technology, which works, yeah, just work. Regarding the business strategy, the question was, right, I guess, the direction, what we are going to build, which products we are going to release in the next years. The thing is, we have our 1inch network, which is the community project. Yeah? And we have our 1inch labs, which is for profit. Yeah? We need at least possibility to earn something, to exist long time, and to contribute to the 1inch network. So our contribution is not under business licenses, it is under MIT licenses. Everyone can build on top of it. And we want to continue that, and that's why we released also our dev portal. So it's for free for on-board people.
Yeah, let me add about the portal. As I said, on hackathon you could spend 20% of effort to achieve 80% of the result. The rest 20% of the result would cost you 80% of effort, and that's where 1inch portal could help.
Yeah, so we reduce the complexity for builders to build new innovations with offering what everyone can build actually. Yeah, but you don't need to reinvent the wheel, right? So possibly revenue streams for us is the developer portal, so to work with institutionals as well, with business integrations. They do a lot of requests. We have arbitrage traders, market makers who use our API to rebalance, to trade in different networks. And of course, it costs us a lot. So we have servers, I guess right now like 400 or something. So we can scale flexible by using AWS. We're also partnering with AWS. I was speaking on AWS Summit this year. It was really great. We see institutional space growing and accepting cryptocurrencies. ETFs are coming for Bitcoin. This is the next start for the bull run from my point of view. And yeah, our mission is to grow, to develop, to improve the 1inch network. We will release also new features. Fusion was not just built for the community, it was also built for institutional product, because at the end, Fusion is a decentralized NASDAQ, what we introduced actually. Yeah? User create orders, and they are professional market makers who are compliant, trade against it, fill, use, bundle, and arbitrage. And yeah, we are not kind of working for free for sure, yeah, but we are working in a manner that we will never damage 1inch network to grow.
Yeah, I would shortly add that Dutch auctions inside of Fusion, they allow to make sure that users benefit from competition of those resolvers and other professional players.
By maintaining decentralization. So there's no single point of failure who execute the transaction. Yeah? There are different players who compete against each other. And how everyone knows, competition is good, yeah, for the user.
I was just, hello? I was curious if there's any efforts going into taking down the restrictions for US customers to use your product.
So the thing is, we have our foundation on Cayman Islands, which is independent from us. So we don't control them, and they have, of course, a little bit fear what's going on right now in the US. So based on the suggestions from the lawyers from foundation, they protect themselves, yeah, and also the network, yeah. If US decide to just ban 1inch, then we would have problems in Europe and other countries. And yeah, they decided, and this is how it is. That's why we're also working from our side, from 1inch Labs, on something what is fully compliant with, for example, SRO license in Switzerland, and also Middle East, and one day US. I guess next year it will change. I'm pretty sure with the new president election and new chairman, yeah, in a sec.
Or old president.
Old president. So and then we can try to do something there. Yeah, but right now Uniswap, I'm not sure, but I heard that they have to communicate with the regulator a lot. Yeah, that's why they have also TRM labs on the hood, what we have as well. We have also some other providers which we aggregate to ensure that there are no hackers who are using the interface. We cannot, of course, we cannot just block everyone using the smart contracts because they are like permissionless, yeah. But at least the client, which is right now served by the foundation, can be protected by such services.
Yeah, I can add that I expect that in coming 1-2 coming years, we will see something significantly changing in United States markets, because even those people who are involved into decisions, like senators, they're also users of DeFi. Some of them hold cryptocurrencies, and they also don't like what's happening.
What I like in US is that they first kind of decline something, deny something, and then through a couple of courts they decide to allow something. A good example is pinball. So they actually didn't allow to play pinball in a lot of states, counties, yeah, and then they had a case in New York, I guess, and after that it was allowed. So this is a kind of interesting approach, and then the innovation will start. Yeah, so.
1inch has historically been very EVM centric. Is there any plans to expand out and maybe integrate some other chains in the future?
I can answer. Yeah, it's about expanding to non-EVM chains. The thing is that supporting non-EVM chains would mean rewriting smart contracts in other languages and optimize for different architectures. That's a lot of effort. And to do this, we need to make sure that on the markets we are going to step in, there is enough DEXs to aggregate, there is enough tokens to trade, there is enough users who would use this technology. And yeah, we are constantly monitoring like what networks could be like our users will be happy to see next, and we monitor activity among those networks. We monitor number of DEXs, number of pools, amounts of liquidity, number of trades, number of users who use them. We also do kind of monitoring of bots activity who use some of the blockchains. And yeah, this is usually a hard decision, because supporting 1-2 chains is easy, but when you support more than 10 chains, it's a lot of effort to support all of them, especially if some of them are different and non-EVM compatible. Yeah.
Regarding the wallet, I would like to add, we are thinking about also to add other networks in the wallet, Bitcoin, for example, as well. So I have my personal need, for example, to own real Bitcoin in my wallet, which is safe, and not to trust someone who offered WBTC, for example. Yeah.
Yeah, I can say that the best thing which happened to Bitcoin is rapid Bitcoin on Ethereum, because it actually can be used in different protocols. But yeah, we see that Bitcoin network is still like millions of different users, and having this non-custody in wallet would allow to have potential millions of new users. So
which we will onboard for Web3. So it's kind of a gate.
We will let them wrap their Bitcoins.
Yes.
I've seen you present at corporate events like Money 2020. How's the reception there, if you're there, and what do you expect from the corporate market, the institutional market, in numbers perhaps?
So no one knew about us on this event. So, but we had a huge queue. People were asking who we are, what we are doing. Some of these persons who are working very long time in like in banks came and asked, is it like the logo, the mascot which we have, which is a unicorn, which looks a little bit, I would say, focused. Yeah, it's actually a maniac unicorn. So like based on our maniac, cryptomaniacs name, which means that we someone who are fully committed and deliver over 56 sleepless hours because we have kind of a goal to achieve, and it represents kind of our logo. And these people, they don't understand it, of course. This is something, our logo as well, like it's not something for banks, yeah? We will maybe change 1inch Pro logo a little bit, so it's maybe more business ready. Yeah, the feedback is they kind of are interested, but most of them, they don't understand Web3. They never heard about complicated financial instruments which we have right now in decentralized finances, lending protocols. Also, they don't know how DEX is kind of operating. Yeah. So a good example also kind of VARA, the regulator in UAE and Middle East, and they have no idea how settlement is done on the blockchain, on DEXs or limit orders. We need to teach them and explain. It's a long way, but it's good to show up there from a point of view.
I can also add here that it's getting better with each year, because 1-2 years ago, I remember if someone came to our 1inch stand, they asked, what's this? I said, it's related to cryptocurrencies. They said, oh, you're mining Bitcoin. No. And the last Money 2020 was a bit better. When they heard about cryptocurrencies, they said it's about trading. Is it about Ethereum? Is it about DEXs? They heard something, but they are not sure how exactly it's working. Most of the participants of those conferences, but they're improving over each year.
Yeah, maybe also one alpha leak from our side. We are working on Web3 book, yeah, because every time I need to explain what we are doing, what is Web3, which protocols exist, what is a DEX, how that works, which kind of DEXs are existing. And last time in Frankfurt, I had a keynote, and someone from the government came and asked me some questions. And I told them to read 2 books from CoinGecko. It's not super up to date right now, and we are working on our own book to just like onboard people, yeah, to explain easily which kind of environment we have here in Web3.
So now it's trivia time. Please put on your thinking hats and be the smartest you've ever been the last few days. Basically, how this is going to work is you're going to get a question on the board. There will be different formats. So whoever is able to answer first will get a little prize. So it's competitive. So what does 1inch refer to? Is it A, length of an inchworm stride? Or is it B, the distance between 10,000 atoms? Or is it C, a martial arts punch popularized by Bruce Lee?
That's easy.
Yell out the answer if you know it. Okay, so we've got Ahmed coming with some tokens for you guys. The guy in the glasses.
Just 3-4 people who sat in the same time. See, just distribute.
And the guy in the Panama hat with the glasses.
Good idea. No, I didn't.
You did? Oh, you did not. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, that was a test run. Okay.
Many questions.
All right. Okay. Yell it out if you know the answer. What product is 1inch currently building? New product that we're building. Yes.
Who said it?
The guy with the
Yes, hardware wallet.
There we go.
Actually, we have a prototype here, so if you like to play around with that. So.
Yes.
Yeah, you can try. We need to find a charger, so it's already empty, but yeah.
Yes, but maybe after.
And maybe some words to this hardware wallet. It's an independent team who are working that. They got funded first by the foundation, and recently they got $2 million US from the DAO to build production-ready version and to start to sell it next year.
Regarding the charger, I would comment Apple MagSafe charger works.
So we know it's B, and not the fiat on-ramps solution we're all waiting for, but maybe 2024. So 1inch has something called unicorn power. What can you do with it? So we've got choices, but this is a little bit of a trick question. So what is the correct answer? Yell it out if you know. Is it only B though? Okay, so it's both B and C. Yeah, yeah. So guy in the front with the peach shirt, peach blouse. And again, the Panama hat, yes. There we go. All right, so we're getting more specific here. See if you know the tech. What tech invented by Sergey and Anton brings you the most optimal swap? And the answer is not as obvious as maybe you think it is.
Web3.
I mean, yes, that was it. There we go.
Actually, it's not just us, it's the whole team. So we have a really huge team. Michael Melnik is over here. Contributed a lot from the beginning. So at the beginning, we just split it between markets, like liquidity sources, like Uniswap, Kyber.
Yeah, I can explain. In the very beginning, the algorithm was pretty simple. It was about splitting user volume. The more you swap on each DEX, the worse is the exchange rate. So if you would just split user volume among multiple DEXs, you would benefit from price improvement. But yeah, later it changed. Now it's more complicated. If you swap Ether to USDC, we could swap part of your Ether to DAI, to USDT, to Rapid Bitcoin. And then these assets could be swapped to USDC directly or to any other middle assets. So yeah, it's trying to touch more different markets which are highly liquid to minimize slippage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Pathfinder API, is that also part of the Dev Tools kit as well? That, yeah. Do you, Sergey, and do you know if the Pathfinder is part of the Dev Tools?
Yeah, this is our swap API. So swap API can be used to get the current quote for the specific amount you plan to swap, or the already prepared call data which can be executed on a blockchain to exchange one asset against another by using the root information which Pathfinder produce.
Okay. All right, so those who know the history of 1inch might be able to answer this one. What semi-popular trending gig back in the days did the co-founders run prior to founding 1inch? Give you some choices. Software consulting, crypto YouTube. Yes, that is.
Yeah, we had almost 100 live stream videos with security audits of smart contracts. Each of audit was like 3-4 hours long. We read every line of code describing how it works and what could be issues.
Yeah.
And sometimes the live streams were up to 8 hours straight.
Yeah, in the night. So, and we had day jobs. So I was working for Porsche, so I tried to look fresh. So I guess to this time we were sleeping 3-4 hours a day, not more. And like on Saturday, you had the feeling already that you're gonna die or something. But yeah, you're more creative. So I don't know if you knew that you became more productive. Yeah, you're more creative, and because your brain understand I need to finish as fast as possible, yeah, and as efficient as possible to take a rest after that.
Then I will sleep. Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, funny story about crypto YouTube. So we were fighting against Ponzi schemes. So one of these Ponzi schemes started to write to me that they're gonna come and kill me or something. And so I decided, after a small discussion with the police, German police, they told me we cannot do anything because these people are coming from, I don't know where, Russia maybe? I don't know.
Come when they kill you.
Yeah. So, and they said like, but no one prevent you from self-protection. So I asked what that means. They said like I can buy a gun. So I bought a gun. I'm not a friend of guns at all. It was a gas gun, I guess. And I ordered bulletproof vest and I put it on and went on live in a live stream on YouTube and said, I guess I'm waiting for you. So, of course, I understood that if someone threatening that they will not come, yeah, normally they come just and, do the job. But yeah, it was kind of a terrible situation, but it was also from other side funny. We had a lot of people watching this live stream, like 1,000 people. Yeah.
So if you search YouTube Cryptomaniacs, you can still see the channel. It still exists today.
But a lot of videos we removed. We didn't remove. We had them. We have still them for the Netflix documentary. Oh, sorry. No, just kidding. Maybe one day. Yeah, there's a lot of like long videos where we just go through the code. A lot of people start to write Solidity code. So if you know Opium Project, the CTO of the Opium Project, they learned, actually he's sitting there, no, I'm sure. He started to learn Solidity by watching these videos.
Oh, even I didn't know that. Okay, very cool. So they obviously don't have an eBay store for horseback riding equipment, but who knows, maybe next hobby in the future. All right. So, what recent feature was added to the 1-inch iOS wallet? We got anybody?
I don't know.
Also staking. All right. Anybody? All right, so it is B. Yes.
So no one?
The longest answer is usually correct, you know?
There's a pattern. Yeah.
Follow this pattern in any quiz.
Yes, so gentleman, yeah, him again. Does he have can you get him a poker chip? Yeah.
And I guess this guy behind him as well.
We both. This nice quiz, everyone can win.
Yeah.
Small functionality is a little bit terrible with Apple. It depends on the reviewer, it looks like. And somehow Uniswap managed it and MetaMask managed it. We are working on that. We have some licenses and potentially it would work also soon.
Yes. All right, so that concludes our trivia for today and our talk. So thank you guys so much. Thank you guys.
I have one question. Did someone recognize Easter egg here in this room from 1inch? Small alpha leak Easter egg.
There is an Easter egg.
No one? Look on the wall.
If you look
Which wall?
On the right side.
there are NFTs.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. We are working on it. So and it makes sense to participate on our meetups to get one day the QR code for the physical airdrop of NFT collection. It's not for raising money, making money. It's to enable our community. So coming soon.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you guys for coming.